you can win this giveaway, and I'll let you know how in just a few seconds. My name is Jimmy Reyes, and I'm a comic book illustrator. Welcome to my channel.
Once upon a time, there was 3 girls. They were playing at the park. They saw a butterfly, so they grabbed a nest and tried to catch it. One little girl was trying to head up, but they didn't see her. So they needed to see her, and they was trying to go. The end. And the story is catching the butterfly.
Isn't it amazing how creative and inspired children are? That's the way that I would like to be. I would like to hold on to that type of creativity, that type of imagination. Children haven't been told that they can't or that they won't do or that they're gonna fail. They have no self-doubt. They could be anything that they want to be, and so can you. You can be a penciler, inker, colorist, letterer, writer, any of those things that you want to do, but you must devote time to developing that craft in order to improve and become good at what you want to do. So it's just a matter of time. And how much time can you devote to that craft? Today's video is a giveaway. Yes, you can win this giveaway, and I'll let you know how in just a few seconds. You want to draw with the correct proportions. So you work hard at maintaining the correct proportions. Then there comes a character like the Hulk, who breaks all the rules, who has a tiny head, a large torso, shorter legs, humongous arms, gigantic hands and feet. Who's built like that? Wait. I'm kind of built like that. No, I don't. I have a big head, so I'm okay. So drawing the Hulk at exaggerated proportions was a bit difficult, but I gave it my best, and I hope you guys like it. So here it is, a sneak peek to the Immortal Hulk #1. A quick sneak peek. All right, so I'm going to tell you now how you can win this sketch cover, and you can spend all the time you like staring at the cover. So here it is. You guys ready? No? Okay, I'll wait. No, go ahead. Go get your pot pie out of the microwave. I'll wait here for you. Are you ready? Hello? There you go. All right, so you guys ready? So this is how you win that sketch cover. Simply be the first to post a comment with your email. Hey, wait. Before you click out, don't forget, come back, watch the rest of this video. When it comes to drawing the Hulk, you have to exaggerate his anatomy. And when you start drawing comic books, one of the things you want to work on is anatomy and making sure you get your proportions correctly and making sure that you draw the human figure correctly. In comic books, the human figure is lengthened. They are taller. The Hulk, his entire anatomy is exaggerated. So in order to make it dynamic, you break all the rules, everything that you've learned when drawing. So drawing the Hulk for me was a bit of a challenge, and I think it's why I drew the Hulk first, because I wanted the challenge. I tend to love challenges. I go for the things that are harder to draw. That's why I think I learned to draw animals so well, because people have a hard time drawing a wolf or drawing horses or drawing different things, and I tend to want to challenge myself to get better, to do better at the things that I'm afraid to draw. Drawing the Hulk for me, the scariest part of drawing the Hulk is his hands. So when I draw the Hulk, I focused on his hands and his hand gestures and things, and to make it easier for myself, I take pictures of my hands using my iPhone and take a picture, and it's basically a mirrored image. It's in reverse, and so it's easier for me to then pull up that image. And well, I shouldn't say my iPhone. I did it on my iPad. I have an iPad above my desk where I'm drawing, and I then flip the camera around for its front facing, and I can then see the pose in the monitor. And so I will bend my fingers to the angle and the things the way I think that the way the Hulk would have his fingers, or in the perspective that I'm drawing the figure. So I bend my fingers, take a picture, and then I draw from that picture. And it makes it much easier for me. Now the Hulk here, I don't know anything about the story as far as the Immortal Hulk inside the comic book. To be honest, I haven't read the story. I don't really get the time that I would like to sit and read all the stories. There's so many that I would love to sit down and read, and I do own a smaller amount of comics, but there are still a few that I'm behind that I would like to read, and so the Immortal Hulk is one that I would like to read. Unfortunately, this is my only copy. The only copy I have is the sketch cover, and so someone's about to own it and have it, so I'm gonna have to go out and get another copy just to read it. And I have to admit though, after drawing the Hulk on this sketch cover, I really enjoyed it, and I'm looking forward to the next Hulk, which I believe the next cover that I have for the Hulk is Planet Hulk. It's an older comic book. I think Immortal Hulk is a much more recent, or pretty recent. The Planet Hulk is something that I do want to draw him. I mean, get to draw the Incredible Hulk as a gladiator. I think that's going to be fun. So I can't wait to do that cover. For my next cover for the giveaway, I'm not sure yet what the cover is going to be. I'm going to flip through the covers, and I guess whatever comes to mind, whatever looks interesting or I feel like drawing at that time. A lot of it is mood, you know. I look at something and go, oh, you know what, I feel like drawing Superman, that'd be cool. And so I've got 13 different covers to choose from, although the Venom is going to be the final cover, because that is a giveaway that is also going to include the Venom pop figure. Gravity Damage Comics has donated 13 different sketch covers if you're unaware of the giveaway, and I'm going to sketch artwork on these covers and going to give them away on this channel for free. And one of those giveaways is going to be a Venom #1 sketch cover, and it's going to include the Venom Funko Pop figure. And how you win these is just simply watch the channel. You want to watch every video and you want to watch them all the way through, because sometimes the question for the giveaway or clues to the giveaway could be at the beginning of the video, as you saw in this video. Others will be in the middle, some will be at the end. They're going to be placed throughout the video randomly, so the next video for the next sketch cover could be in the middle of the video, so you're going to have to go through the video to find that question and then be the first to answer the question and place it in the comment section along with your email. But this particular question here in this giveaway is simply whoever was the first to watch the video and comment is the winner. So by being a loyal and faithful viewer, it increases your chances of winning. Now, when I'm doing these sketch covers, it's different. It's not exactly the same as artwork that I do for actual work pages, printed pages, because the dimension is different on here. And it's fun doing these sketch covers because you got a lot more freedom. You can draw anything that you want. The dimension is smaller. The paper was actually really nice paper. It was actually a cardstock paper that I didn't think was going to take the nib or India ink, and I started testing it out with some India ink on there with the brush, and it handled it very well. And then I used a nib with white ink to add in the little white effects over black, and it took the nib very well. So I think the next sketch cover, instead of using the Sakura Pigma pens or microns, I think I'm gonna try to use a nib on it, unless the next cover is a DC Comics cover, because I'm not sure if it's going to be the same type of paper. This one here is by the Marvel publisher, and that paper was pretty good, but I imagine that they're all the same. So I think I'm going to try a little nib here and there and see how the paper handles the nib, and if it handles it very well, then I'll ink it with the nib, and that's more of where my talent lies. I'm much more comfortable with the nib, and want to give you guys the best sketch that possible that I can. So inking this one here with the Pigma pen, I am trying to do different type of line variations and effects, and I really handle that Pigma the way I handle the nib. I tend to just ink the same way, but you can't hold the Pigma pen and expect to get the same type of line quality that you would with the nib, even if you make the same hand gesture or same hand movement. It just doesn't work that way. The Pigma pen doesn't allow you to vary your line weight, but you can sculpt your line weights, and that's the reason why I use the 0.05 micron, and it allows me then to make a very thin line, and then I can build up my line that way. and I found that that was where I was most comfortable. I did switch off and on with the 01, and then the areas where I filled in black, I switched to the 03, and at some point I think I even switched to the 05 to fill in black just a little more. So once I penciled everything on this cover, I have all my drawing laid out. I have the underdrawing done. And that's when I decided to go in with the ink and really just finish the drawing with the ink. And it's a little different. I seem to be much more confident when I'm inking with the Sakura pen as far as inking my own work and finishing the drawing in ink. When I pencil loose and then I go over it with the nib, I don't feel as confident. A lot of times I will stop and then re-pencil something in there or add more detail before I actually grab the 102 Crow Quill. But with the Pigma pen, it feels a lot like a pencil, and it's really just sketching. And that's what I was doing. I was just sketching with a pen. And so, as I mentioned here with the Incredible Hulk, I don't know the story on the inside of what the Hulk is like, but in my imagination, the Hulk is just big, brute, and strong, and that's the pose that I gave him. Is, you know, he's coming at the camera. You know, I'm not sure if in the story if he crawls out of a grave or anything. It looks that way on the cover, but I wasn't too sure, so I decided not to make him coming out of a grave, because that was my initial idea, was, you know, the Hulk would be busting out of the ground, you know, with his grave, or crawling out, kind of zombie-like. But I decided, no, I'm gonna keep it safe and draw the Hulk as if he's coming to the camera, but he's in a graveyard. So that's how I got this cover, this idea, and this layout. And because it's in black and white, and all the illustrations will be in black and white, I wanted to make a strong black and white drawing. So this is why I made the sky black and tried to ink in a lot of the negative space. Having the negative space there really dark black, and having it in black like that pushes the positive space up forward. And you know, I just wanted a good balance of black and white, just so that the illustration would look nice and solid in black and white on its own without color. And if you watch several of my videos, for some reason there keeps this little gnat just stays by my desk. I think he really likes my light bulb. And he keeps flying on the screen there. He's been in the last 2 videos, so yeah, I don't have the heart to squish him, so so he's my little buddy there. He's just hangs around when I draw. So with the rendering, I did go a little heavier because I do want the rendering to help with the gray tone, and to be able to add a little bit of weight and shading to the illustration. So my rendering is a bit thinner, and the lines are a bit thinner, just to create that gray tone and help the shapes and things like that. I started inking the grass and things on the ground in the field and with a Pigma pen, and it wasn't coming out right. So eventually I give up on that Pigma pen and decided I'm gonna get my brush, because I know how to ink grass with the brush, and it gives me the look that I'm looking for. So I get the brush out and I started inking the grass with the brush, and that's when I discovered, oh, the paper can take India ink. So next one around, I'm going to try it all with India ink and a nib, and I say that with a lot of confidence, as if I am for sure, but I'm going to try it and see how the paper handles the nib. So inking with a brush too, I'm much more confident with the brush than I am with the Pigma pens and things. It was much easier to paint in the grass, ink in the grass and things. So nib and brush really are my go-to tools, and what I've become very comfortable with. And sketching the Hulk, once you have all the proportions down and everything, it becomes easy. And how I render the illustration and how I add in all the shadows and things, you know, it's very simple. It's really not that hard to render your drawings. You really got to think of form, think of shape, and just think of where the light is hitting, and where the light is not touching, that's the area you shade in to shade in the shape. And muscles are layered. They're muscle applied on top of another muscle. So that's the shape that you want to keep, and that's how you render. You render according to the shape and where the light is hitting. It's two things, two key points to keep in mind is shape and light source. And then it becomes very simple. It's actually very easy to render. What's the most difficult and what you should really concentrate on is the underdrawing. You know, your gesture drawing, and then your underdrawing, making sure proportions are correct, make sure perspective and things like that before you really start rendering. And rendering is just, you know, icing on the cake. It makes your illustration look pretty and adds, you know, nice little details and stuff like that. But if the underdrawing isn't correct, and the underdrawing, you know, will affect what your rendering looks like. So no matter how much you render, how much icing you put on that cake, if the cake's lopsided, you're still going to see a lopsided cake with pretty frosting on it. So when I do the drawing of the Hulk, I tried my best to make sure all the proportions and the hands were bent correctly and things like that, and making sure it was a dynamic pose and it looks like he's in movement, like he's moving forward. And I made my best attempt, did the best that I could at the time. And of course, each new drawing, I tend to learn more and more and hopefully get better and better. But overall, when I look at this drawing, I'm very proud of it. It's actually a drawing that I'm very happy with. And the few people that have gotten to see this, I did take it into Gravity Damage Collectibles. They invited me back to sign a lot more copies of Charlie's Angels. They actually ordered another 80 copies of Charlie's Angels, and asked if I would come in and at least sign 25 copies. But when I was there, of course, I asked if they want me to sign all 80. I didn't mind. I would sign them for them. I did. I went in and signed 80 copies of Charlie's Angels, which you'll see in the next video. The next video I have is a Charlie's Angels sketch cover that I'm doing for a client, and you'll get to see the 80 different comic books that I signed in there. And while I was there, I showed a few people the Hulk, and they were just so fascinated by it and thought it was a great thing, and it helped encourage me. Well, thank you so much for spending time with me here in this video, and I do appreciate that. And congratulations to whoever won this sketch cover. You're getting my baby there. You know, so at least send me updated pictures every now and then so I can see how he's grown. So thanks so much, and don't forget to click subscribe if you're not already a subscriber. Be sure to click the bell icon so you get notified of updates, because these videos are not announced, and if you want to win the giveaway, you gotta click the bell icon so that you're the first to view the video. And don't forget, be different, ink outside the box.